Hey, this is Lonnie Johnson, the Car Show. We're here at BMP Design. We're here to see a turbine-driven, helicopter-powered Mini Cooper. Pretty sick.
It does not burn rubber. It just seems to four-wheel drive it into this massive acceleration thing. I think it comes on a little slow because I noticed when he accelerated the engine, just the jet engine, it took a little wind up, but once it was hooked up, it was like there was no stopping it. You know, it was like it's doing like 500 foot-pounds. He says at 140, he says the thing gets up to 140 with nothing flat, and then it's just dragging the front engine along.
Did he give any kind of amount of time it took to get to 140?
I have no idea.
Because like 140 and a quarter mile is like a 10-second quarter-mile car. But the thing is, this car might be infinitely faster in the half mile. You know what I mean? The quarter mile is just really getting going.
I don't know. I'd have to take a look and see. What's scary about it to me is you got one hand on the steering wheel to steer the car. You got the other hand on this throttle assembly, like in a helicopter, to run the back engine. Which to me, I would want it hooked together somehow to where
at least paddles.
Yeah.
I mean, so the other thing was the stability was I questioned. I just don't see, you know, the braking and all. It seems like the car overdrives the brakes.
Right.
You know, it seems like you run. You know,
unless you're just drag racing it, and then you know you've got this infinite you know runway at the end to kind of to kind of let the car kind of wind down. You know, but
it's like Viagra on wheels, sort of.
Yeah. There's two huge exhaust stacks. There's a sunroof that opens. There's two huge exhaust stacks and that basically is the only exhaust for the engine.
And this also acts as a cold air box, right?
Then at the front of that same box is the intake for the whole compartment here, since this thing just gobbles up huge amounts of air. You know, it's essentially...
This is the cold air box.
The whole thing is just the air intake for this thing. And they've got this with heat material on it to keep it from overheating the compartment. It's got two gas tanks. It runs on like a jet fuel for the helicopter engine, and it runs on premium fuel for the front engine.
So it's a flex fuel vehicle.
A flex fuel vehicle, yeah.
All right.
It was 500 foot-pounds of torque. Runs at about over 6,000 RPM. It runs through a reduction gear. It's got a huge belt that goes down that essentially couples up to the input shaft of a diff that's turned backwards.
That's turned backwards. And what is the gear ratio to the diff? Because
no, it's not. It's not 1-to-1.
It's not 1-to-1.
No, it's not 1-to-1. Because there's a reduction box. I'm pretty certain that brings the RPM down. Because you couldn't run 6,000 RPM into a drive shaft. You'll hear it when this thing fires up. You get it spooled up, and then you hear this tap 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 tap, and those are the igniters lighting the fuel until it fires up.
So they turn the Corvette rear end around.
Right.
Faced it the other way.
So the little input shaft of the diff is right here, and looks like they just put a Gilmer belt pulley on it or something like that. So it's like a big.
So the reducer is off the jet itself.
I believe so.
Okay. Yeah. And then this is the fuel tank, right here for the jet fuel, right?
Yeah, the front one is for the car fuel.
Okay. Where's the front?
Right.
Oh,
here.
right here.
It's a senior thing right here.
Okay. Got two. And then from the front, it's just a Mini. A very fast Mini. What year is the Mini? How old is it?
2005. It has like no miles on it. It's like
5,000,
6,000 miles. Oil on the top. One is oil, one is water.
Right.
You know, so however it cools, I'm kind of just learning a little bit about this.
And so it needs more brakes, right? Are you doing any of that, or?
Yeah, we were gonna once I get it running with the front engine, we'll kind of see what it feels like. I mean, one of his comments was it's really bouncy in the rear because we got this huge Corvette leaf spring here. Right. You know that's really not.
Do they still? So did he say what year the Corvette? Because that's
older. Yeah, some older.
Oh, an older Corvette. Okay, because that's what Fix said. They used to do that on the older Corvettes, the spring thing. They don't do that anymore. That's probably 70s or 80s, maybe.
Yeah, I'm not sure which one they use, but
think I want to get a shot of the inside where the handle is real quick too.
Mm-hmm.